I want you to tell me the very first thing that you see or the first things you feel in this new place.
I feel kind of uh, like I'm underground, uh, like under like a gladiator arena, and I hear pounding and I hear people cheering, but I am like really scared, um, like I'm having to get put out into the arena to fight.
Can you look down at your body? What are you wearing?
Hmm. Um,
Or I guess, can you tell what gender you are?
I feel male. I feel uh, I feel like I don't know if I'm a cross between a cat and a human. I feel really tall and like really thin, but like fast and muscular. I might be a like a Lyran type, like a cat feline
Yeah.
with like cheetah dots. But I feel like I'm standing like a human. I may even be wearing like armor or something on my shoulders. Like it's like a humanoid body, but like a cat face and like fur, kind of.
Are you like waiting to go fight or are you there like chained up, in a cage? Like what is around you?
I don't think I'm alone. I think there's actually quite a few other. Feels like we're in this big room and that we're not exactly chained up, but there's nowhere for us to go, so they're gonna force us all out. Like even if we try to not go out into the arena, there's some sort of guards at the back of the room that force us out into the arena.
Mm,
It has when you're in the arena, there's like really high walls and it's like very uh khaki colored. The arena is like sandy khaki, just a lot of brown everywhere.
yeah, I can see that too. So are you out in the arena now?
Well, I had like a flash to being out there and looking
Oh, okay.
like what it looks like standing in the middle.
Yeah. Um, are you
It's
do you
don't think any of us want to be there. It doesn't seem like anyone's exactly like enthused to be fighting.
yeah. Are you guys carrying weapons? Is there anything in your hands?
Mm, I can't fully tell. I feel the motion of me like swinging something. Don't think it's an axe, but I don't think it's one of those like sticks with a ball thing on it. I'm not quite sure. Feels like I have some sort of protection on my forearms too. It's interesting though because the crowd's pretty amped up about everything, about watching.
Do
I'm
you know
assuming we all have to fight to the death of some sort.
do you know who you're fighting?
And I think it's just a bunch of random people
Hmm.
or random uh beings.
Mm-hmm.
I
You
don't
started
perceive the other creatures around me as being the same species as me. I feel
okay.
like I'm like um different. Like I perceive like other beings before we get like forced to go out, like like huddling against the wall, like afraid and like not like they're scared and they don't even really want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like in gladiators where everyone's amped up to like kill each other and are excited about it. It's a totally different vibe for sure. And the feeling of the pounding and the crowds yelling kind of had like when I first came into it was like pretty like a rush of like fear.
Well, let's go to your home and place of residence so we can see a little bit more about why this life is being shown today. What is something that stands out to you the most as you look outside of this home?
I'm having a difficult time making out. Like it feels dark. I thought maybe I was in like a cave of some sort because of shadows moving around. Seems like I'm seeing like some plants. I mean, it feels kind of like it's like in the jungle or something. I don't know, it just feels like rocky, like a rocky clay cave, like with plants around
Okay.
it.
Yeah, cats they sleep in caves. Um,
Yeah, I just thought I was like more advanced than that. It feels like maybe at some point I get caught and then my home is like a cage or something in the darkness.
what is a typical meal for you?
I think I just pretty much just hunt whatever I get.
Are there others with you that live with you in this cave?
I don't really perceive anyone else.
I'm gonna take you to your job or occupation or what you spend most of your time in that life doing. Tell me, what is happening around you? What do you see?
Um, I'm like a soldier of some sort. I just feel like I'm standing out somewhere lined up with other soldiers, like saluting. I don't know if it's like a graduation or we're getting ready to go into combat or something. Feel like a sense of pride to be a part of it or something. And I
And
feel like we're all cats, yeah.
do you know where you're going to fight?
I don't think we're being sent off to fight. I think maybe we're graduating or something. Like maybe
Oh,
I'm
okay.
newly trained or something. It just seems like we're all kind of lined up and there's some sort of someone ahead of us. Like, yeah, maybe like a graduation, like we're finishing our training or something. Um, yeah, I think there's just a lot of different things that we could get sent into. Seems like we kind of expect to be taken off the planet and fight elsewhere. In some sort of ships, like go somewhere else, but I'm not sure where.
What is your favorite thing about this job and this space?
Mhm. Uh, Interesting. I like how much faster I am than like when we fight reptilians and stuff, they're hella slow. I just see myself like whoops, like moving my hands hella fast and like they're just like big and dumb and slow. I'm just like far more uh physically I can bounce leaps and bounds around them, kind of a
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Yeah, that's funny.
And we're like good. We're like no one can really defeat us.
What is your least favorite thing about this job in this space?
I don't feel like I had any ties to home. I don't feel like any connections to any family or anything. It feels like I'm pretty fully invested in the traveling warrior life.
Hmm.
I don't really see any downsides to it.
You just really love it.
Hmm.
Nice. What is something that stands out to you the most about this space?
It just feels like there is a strong camaraderie amongst the other soldiers. Like we kind of kick ass and take names and keep it moving kind of a thing.
Hmm.
And so those of us that are on the ship together are pretty much like family. That
Yeah.
is the family.
Now I want to take you into some important days in the life that we are viewing to help understand why you're being shown this specific life. What is happening? What do you see?
It seemed really bright for a minute. Some sort of something coming in from the left side.
Can you sense if it's a person or an object or
Well, I thought it kind of reminded me of like a light source of like, I don't know, like we got too close to a star or something happened. Maybe something damaged our ship on the left side of something damaged our ship. And so we had to make an emergency landing somewhere or something. I'm having a hard time seeing it, but I'm just hearing that we had to make an emergency landing somewhere and we got stranded.
can you sense what type of planet you're stranded on?
It seems like a planet that doesn't have a lot of vegetation, like like a Marsy looking something with a lot of like rock. I think it looks kind of like Star Wars.
What is it? Do you see any signs of life or ports or like, space stations kind of thing?
No, not really. Feels like very deserty. It reminds me a lot of I don't know, is that Tatooine in Star Wars or whatever? Is that the one that's like all desert and there's like these weird little outposts that have
Hmm.
like shit like in the middle of nowhere?
Hmm. Are you guys stranded or is it like something you can fix and get out of there? What's kind of situation are you in?
I think we're trying to stop to see if we can, but we don't really know. It seems like we're gonna try to somehow send communication back and send for help of some sort, but I don't really see beyond that.
Is there anything that stands out to you the most about being in this scene?
No, just the unsureness of not knowing. It, it seems like we know there's potential risks for stopping on this planet, but we don't really have any other choice at this moment.
Hmm. Who are you with?
It just seems like it's our battle crew. It's like our normal ship that we travel on. It feels like it's decently big.
Can you tell how many people are on the ship?
It seems like we're actually in an explorer pod that broke off from another ship, so it's a little bit smaller. Seems like maybe there's about a dozen of us. We were meant to come down here and check and see if there was. We were checking for something to see if there was any presence of
Hmm.
presence of the enemy.
The slow dumb Dracos. Um, okay. Well, I guess we can go to another important day in the life that we are viewing. What is happening? What do you see?
Well, I don't see it, but I hear that it's like a battle. I just keep hearing battle with Dracos.
Do you know where you are in this battle? Like, your location?
Uh, we're somewhere in Orion. I
Hmm.
don't see a lot of the details of the battle. I got like a weird twinge. I don't know if maybe I got hurt. It wasn't like a hand-to-hand combat. It feels like it was more like ships fighting
Were you in space or somewhere else?
near to a planet,
Uh-huh.
but like in the air. I don't know. I feel like I get impaled through my liver or something. I don't know. I'm having like a really strong feeling through there. And it feels like I somehow. It doesn't feel like we wreck the ship. Maybe we take some sort of a hit or something. It just feels like somehow I get like impaled through or get some sort of injury around my liver area, my side here.
Hmm.
I just like see myself somehow up against a wall and something going through me on the side.
Huh. Like all the way through?
I don't know. It doesn't feel like I die. Maybe I'm just injured and it like slows me down really bad for a long time. But it seems like maybe it makes it so I can't fight anymore.
What
That's all I can seem to make of it.
what happens to you after you stop fighting?
It kind of feels like I lose my sense of purpose. Like I get really depressed. It also seems that I might just not keep up on my training as much anymore. That that's how I ended up getting caught somehow and putting in that gladiator ring
Hmm.
because I wasn't quite the warrior that I once was anymore after the injury and recovery. And I just was never really the same after that.
When they captured you, where did they take you?
I'm not even sure how I got captured. That's just what I was feeling like. That's how.
Oh,
I think I
okay.
was just like caught slipping by the wrong people kind of a thing. I think wrong place, wrong time.
Hmm.
I was thinking maybe I had gotten into some trouble, but it doesn't really feel like that is really the case. I think that's what they tried to use that as a justification, but they didn't really care. They used any excuse to throw people to the into the fighting.
Hmm.
They would just like make it up. So,
Yeah, whatever
like
excuse
someone
they
came and
need.
was aggressive, and I just like talked back and defended myself, and that was enough.
Oh, yeah. So wait, who's they? Who are the ones in charge? Okay.
It feels like some sort of soldier military. of some sort of ruler of wherever I'm at.
Okay.
Like, it seems like they just go around fucking with people and doing whatever they want anyway.
Which planet are you on right now? Can you sense the name of it or where you are?
No, not really. It just doesn't really have any. I just see desert and sand. The soldiers are like mean and like bullies, like you see in like cartoons, of
Yeah.
like, yeah. The city reminds me kind of like, yeah, what is it in Jumanji whenever they're like walking through the marketplace and he eats the cake? Kind of, I want to say Egyptian, like Middle Eastern kind of
No, I
type
know.
of
Mm-hmm.
uh that's what the town or the development reminds me of. But
Okay.
it seems like the ruler has some sort of really, 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 really tall walls that are up all around uh his property or, kingdom, whatever. And it just seems like it's like just in the middle of the desert. It's like I don't really see anything around.
Wow.
The town that I was in seems like it was closer to some rocks and vegetation and stuff, but not really anything like I've seen before. It's not like our kind of trees, like succulent type stuff.
Hmm.
Or yeah,
Interesting. Your higher self can decide where to go from here. Tell me, what do you see?
seems like I might just be being taken into like in a cage on some sort of wheels or something. Uh, being taken in like the back wherever to be taken to that arena to fight. I was like locked up before.
How long were you locked up for?
Like 2 or 3 days.
Was it for that incident in the other important day?
It just seems like it was just some kind of bullshit. Like something that was unfair, but there was nothing I could do about it because I really wasn't strong enough to fight back or get out of the situation.
Are any of the people from your ship still there?
Feels like I was somehow left behind because of my injury. I don't know, like they couldn't waste resources on keeping me in the ship and traveling if I wasn't going to be able to fight. So it almost seemed like I don't know, it seems I would have been more valuable than that to them, but it doesn't seem like I was. It seems like, yeah, there's camaraderie, but once you can't pull your own weight, there's kind of a like an understanding that you'll just kind of get out of our way, take care of yourself, kind of a.
They couldn't take you back to your home planet or
Oh,
something?
that's what I was trying to get, but for some reason, no, I don't know. Not quite. Maybe they weren't going back, so I was just considered like dead weight. It seems like they only go forward. We had a very specific mission, and if you weren't aligned with that mission, then there was no need for you to be there. And once I wasn't physically capable anymore, then I couldn't align with the mission anymore. Uh, it feels very business mentality, not a lot of like, emotions or empathy kind of but not mean either. Just, I mean, yeah, mean to the enemies or whatever. So the kindest thing rather than kill me or do away with me was to allow me to live out and heal at this planet that I am on, I guess. I feel like alone. I feel like I don't really. I feel like there's a woman that maybe helped me or a feminine energy that kind of helped me after I was injured, kind of helped nurse me back. But there's not like, I feel like I just don't have that emotional connection with anybody, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
The only emotions that I did feel at one point was just like the fear in that very first scene, and then uh, like feeling not adequate enough to fight anymore.
Mm-hmm. So, because before we took that side quest, you're in this, you're,
In the cage coming into the back
yeah.
of the stadium,
Mm-hmm.
like underground part of the stadium. It's like this tunnel where they bring people in.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm way taller than a lot of other people here being made to fight as well. Seems like it's like just like prisoners of, yeah. I feel like I fight my best, but it doesn't matter if you win, they're killing everyone anyway. I think something happened in my head because I felt like a weird twinge or like I was hit in my head.
Can you tell who or what hit you?
Well, I only fought other people that attacked me. I wouldn't, if someone was like afraid or cowering, I wasn't going to hurt them. But it feels like I was just actually killed by the people running the thing.
Yeah.
And maybe even like from a distance, it just kind of came out of nowhere. I feel like I'm in the middle of like the arena and then I'm just like, I think just like done.
Yeah. Can you see or feel the soul leaving the body?
Yeah, it feels like it just kind of rises up and kind of looks around and goes like, well, that was a waste. Like I'm kind of like annoyed with how everything ended. I really don't. It's like it's not like a good feeling. It's like a really
Yeah.
and I just kind of take a look around me and then just kind of float away.
Mm-hmm.
But I just do like one as I'm floating up, I kind of do a rotation, I should say, looking around me.
Yeah. Well, let's follow the soul into the spirit realm, and I'm going to take you to the Council of Elders. Can they help you understand what the purpose of that life was? What lessons you were supposed to learn?
Well, there was the experience of battle and being in that body was very fast and very skilled at fighting. But it was fighting for a good cause and with the intention of trying to liberate planets and species from reptilians and take them down in what ways we can. But losing the ability to continue with that, it's another example of like, major loss. and how it kind of turned into like losing the meaning of life kind of a thing. Although it wasn't like as emotional as like a human version maybe, but it was an opportunity, I guess, to try to rise above once I lost that way of life, but I didn't really have the desire to do that in that life.
Is there anything they think you should have done differently in that life?
Well, because of the situation, what I had to work with, I could have focused a little more on learning how to just find peace and joy in the moment and where you are, even though it was a really uncomfortable planet to be left on or place to be left. But for the most part, I lived a pretty noble life with good intentions. I tried to use my strength and speed for bettering the universe. It was just a massive struggle, like losing all of that.
Yeah, I'd imagine. Now that you're at the table, how do you see this life differently?
Well, I can see how deeply rooted my hate for reptilians is and how long I've been fighting them. uh, I just keep getting a visual of like a cat and a lizard and ripping the lizard's tail off. Um, yeah, I think it was just like painful to lose my ability to continue to fight.
Do you feel like you've carried any trauma with you from this life into the current life that you're living?
It seems that it's yet another physical injury to the liver area.
I noticed that.
Uh, I think there might still be some trauma and pain there just from losing a way of life that I loved so much, or that I took great pride in what we did and the camaraderie and but I don't feel necessarily like I don't feel betrayed by them leaving me. It's like something that I understand. It's like it's just part of like if you're not a soldier anymore, then you don't need to be here. Kind of they're not going to waste resources on keeping an injured soldier and hauling them around from planet to planet, and they're just going to be dead weight, kind of a thing. You know, I understood why it had to be that way, kind of a thing, but it still sucked. But I didn't really have any hard feelings about it. It was just sucked, you know.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you have hard feelings with anybody else. I was upset with myself, I guess, maybe. I don't know.
Can they help you understand how that life connects to your current incarnation?
Just continuing the battle, but from a different perspective, trying to liberate the people from reptilian control. But also, just reminding me that I am a fighter.
How are you feeling about the death in that life as you look back? Is there trauma that you endured from that death?
It's an uncomfortable situation because the dynamic of it, but in a way, I was kind of just glad it was over because, again, my life pretty much was over. I felt like I was just existing anyway. I was ready for that incarnation to be done. Move
Mm-hmm.
on.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe we also knew about reincarnation and I wasn't really that afraid.
Mm-hmm. Now I know the higher self could have brought forward many different lifetimes for Stephanie to see today. You chose the life where she was, I'm assuming Lyran. Um, why did you choose that life for her?
It's important to understand what's currently happening in this monumental time on this planet, and that she is fighting the same battle, but from a different perspective, and to keep fighting it the way that you know how. There's a lot of karmic cycles that are coming to head. It's been a battle for a very long time. You don't have to be violent in order to win a battle. In that lifetime, there was more violence, but it's not necessary. The battleground and weapons are different this time, but just keep focusing on the good.
What is her purpose or mission or goal in that lifetime?
Well, in that lifetime, I was a strong physical warrior. In this lifetime, I am a strong spiritual warrior. They're different strengths, but just as powerful.
Mhm.
The approach that has been being taken is good. She has a tendency to want to dip back into the violent side of fighting because it's the warrior deep inside, even before she even realized that the enemy was the same. But the battleground is different now. Those old violent tactics are not going to be what wins this time. Lean into the spirituality, rise above it all. My value is not based on my physical capabilities this time around.
Is there any trauma from this past lifetime that has been carried into this current one, especially around your liver? What's the deal with that?
Just yet another location where there was physical trauma.
And why is that? Why do people keep getting injured in the same places in every lifetime?
Um, it's easier, I guess, because they've done it before. I don't know. It's an interesting concept, but a lot of people do it. They'll, I literally heard because it was easier.
Huh.
Maybe once you like already have trauma in that area, it's just easier to let it keep happening there.